What is good, YouTube? So today we have a different type of reaction. It's like kind of a video essay, like analysis video. It's just like cartoon episodes that traumatize children. It's not really an essay, video essay, but by Tov. Tov makes really good videos, just like in depth about certain topics, and yeah, so definitely go subscribe to them. But yeah, normally I just react to Jubilee and like cut, but I'm interested in these types of videos. I really like them, so I don't know. This video seems interesting. Maybe I'll remember some of these episodes as a kid. So there are definitely some episodes that scared me as a kid. I can remember. But yeah, like, subscribe. Go subscribe to Tov. And yeah. See you guys in the next one. Alright. This is the last one, and then I'm
When growing up, one thing we as kids loved doing was watching TV.
Alright.
Getting up early to watch Saturday morning cartoons, or late at night to watch whatever was playing. These cartoons gave us dreams,
that was the vibe, bro.
expectations, and most of all, permanent memories.
That was the absolute vibe.
Some shows pushed
That
the
show's
boundaries,
peak.
causing us to remember the more disturbing side of said cartoon. Today,
Alright.
we will be talking about cartoon episodes
I've never
that
watched that show.
traumatized children.
It's kind of weird. What the fuck?
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Before this one actually starts, I want to let you guys know that today, the day that you are watching this, at 5 p.m. PST, we will be doing a live Q&A on my Discord server.
Sorry.
Pingu is a Swiss-British stop-motion claymation
Dude, I watched the show.
created by Otmar
I like that
Gutmann
show.
in 1987.
Pingu
The main
is peak.
character is a penguin called Pingu who lives in the South Pole along with his family and friends. The show aired on BBC Children's and Education, and episodes averaged 5 minutes in length. Today, we will be talking about Season 1, Episode 26. Pingu's Dream. The episode starts off as normal, nothing out of the ordinary. Pingu's mom is reading him a bedtime story, and Pingu begins
The show always
to
gave me
drift
some
away
creepy
to sleep.
vibe.
He wakes
The show
up with the
always
sound of
did.
his igloo jumping, and before you know it, the igloo
Yeah.
flies away.
I did like
Pingu's
the show,
bed
though,
extends its
but it
legs
gave me
and
some
begins
creepy
walking.
vibe.
The camera cuts to this creepy walrus watching Pingu in his bed go about their day. Not to mention that every time the walrus pops up, these synths are played. It just gives you some uneasy feeling. What's up with things involving walruses being creepy? Like,
That
the
movie.
directors keep showing the audience how the walrus is just watching Pingu. Eventually, the
Bro,
walrus
that's
makes his introduction.
creepy.
And you know how the directors made this already creepy character make his introduction to children? This is how.
The OG jump scare?
It's clear to see that the walrus is
That
supposed
is
to
so
have this like
weird.
goofy personality that finds everything funny and just wants to play. But they really messed up by making him almost human-like. The walrus begins messing with Pingu and eats his bed, all while non-stop laughing. Pingu and his bed begin running away,
That's
and Pingu
weird.
ends up falling down a hill of snow. It was actually a pretty cool transition because the next camera zooms out, and you can see that he's in his room again. The episode ends with Pingu crying, and his mother
That's a
comes
fire
towards him.
transition.
Yes. That's how this episode ends. Not only is this the ending to the episode, but this was actually the season finale. This episode was highly controversial and was eventually banned from television due to the giant walrus being too scary and unsettling for many young viewers. The creator, Otmar Gutmann, actually
I would
used
be
the same
terrified.
walrus model in a German short film he made years prior.
I don't remember this
caught
episode,
me
though.
off guard because the voice he used for the walrus is so unexpected. Here, I'll just play the clip.
Dass wir unsere Kundschaft ernst nehmen, das zeigt sich durch unsere Raumgestaltung der Kommunikationsräume und schauen Sie sich mal um.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on the list.
Alright.
Blue Cat Blues, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry need no
This
introduction.
dude,
I'm 100%
this episode is
sure
actually
everyone
creepy.
watching this video knows exactly who these two are. Blue Cat Blues is about Tom's love
This
for a
episode is
female
just
cat,
messed
which
up.
doesn't love him back. The video begins with a quote by Jerry's narrator while watching Tom sit on the train tracks, patiently waiting for the train to come by. The quote is, "Poor Tom. In a few minutes, it'll all be over."
Stop,
And for the
I
first
hate
time
this.
since he met her, he'll be
Bro,
happy.
it's a
Poor, miserable love
It's
story.
supposed to be creepy.
suppose
I should have done
people
this
say
on
I should've
Halloween.
helped them. I know, but it's better this way. Talk about a kid's show getting dark. Throughout the episode, we see just how much Tom is in love with this cat, and how he is overthrown by another cat by the name of Mr. Butch. The cat with more money, more gifts, a better car. Tom resorts to drinking milk, which in this episode is a substitute for alcohol.
Milk.
Tom is seen sliding down a gutter until Jerry saves him. They get splashed by some water and come to find out it's Mr. Butch and the love of Tom's life.
Yeah, this
riding
episode's
away
just
in his
like
car
not
while he
meant
just
for
married
kids. I don't know why they didn't
After
make this
this,
episode.
the same thing happens to Jerry as his girlfriend is riding away with another mouse. Jerry brings himself down to the train tracks, sits next to Tom.
This episode
both
is just
patiently wait
weird.
for the train to pass by. The episode ends with the haunting horn of a train.
How would they make that episode, bro?
This episode was banned by Cartoon Network and Boomerang due to its references to alcohol, and also I just
Yeah,
want to clear up a common
that's messed up.
misconception, and that is that this is actually the finale to the series. It's not.
A lot of people said that, yeah.
Man's best friend. Ren and
I
Stimpy.
never watched
Ren
the
and
show.
Stimpy ran on Nickelodeon from 1991 to 1996 and focused on a sociopathic chihuahua and a clueless cat. This
Show looks
got
weird.
away
I've
with
never
so
watched
much
this, though.
shit, it's actually scary. Season 2, episode 4 opens up with a man by the name of George Liquor adopting Ren and Stimpy at a pet store. Once he takes them home, he puts them through a bunch of rigorous tasks to see if they can keep up with how he wants his ideal pets to act. In one scene, he forces Stimpy to get on his
what the
couch
fuck?
so that he can learn how to be quote-unquote disciplined, and, well, just watch.
That's a goofy ass show. Bro, what the hell?
That's a good boy.
I have no idea how Nickelodeon let this show air in the first place.
Who watched
Eventually,
this show,
George
bro?
says that his pets need to learn how to attack. So he puts on this padded bite suit, and Stimpy is reluctant due to
This show just
being
looks
his owner.
bad.
Ren, on the other hand, takes full advantage
Bro.
of this and begins beating the ever-living shit out of George's paddle. So much so that George's head does a full 360 and right eyeball falls out of its
Bro,
socket.
how is the show
Ren
meant for
continues on
kids?
his rampage and just doesn't stop beating this man to a pulp. It even shows George with
This is
S's for
messed up,
eyes,
bro.
and we all know what that means. Though he actually didn't die. It's still quite disturbing to add that little detail. But the disturbing parts of this episode don't end there. George climbs out of his suit, breathes like a maniac, and congratulates Ren on being a true champion. The episode ends with all three characters dancing. Yeah. Now, this episode actually never ended up airing on
what?
Nickelodeon. It was banned once they saw what it actually contained. But this episode was moved to Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. And that show was basically a revival of the original, except with very sexual... It was just a very sexual show. I mean, if the creator
What?
went from making
A
a kid's
sexual
show and
version
turning
of
kid's
that
into
show?
a sexual... I mean, I guess we could see where his mind was. Anyway, we could tell that this creator was trying to go with this dark humor.
I'm
but
good with
it
that
just ended
show.
up being super
Never
creepy
catch
for
me watching
kids, and
that.
It was not the right move. Teeth for Two, Cat Dog. Cat Dog ran for 7 years on
I know this show, I've
Nickelodeon
never
from
seen it, though.
1998 to 2005. You may recognize Dog's voice since it's Tom Kenny, SpongeBob's voice actor. Teeth for Two is actually a fun concept for an episode, where whenever one of them does something, the other one feels it, except it revolves around teeth. Look, I hate the dentist
That's
already.
just gross.
Yes, I do go, but just the fact that there's drills in your mouth, pause, nah bro, I just hate everything about the dentist so much. Anyway, the dentist tells them that the food they eat affects the other's teeth, resulting in Cat's teeth to become brown and withered. Cat tries to convince Dog to start eating healthy, but then turns into a battle seeing who can do more damage to the other's teeth. Cat chews on ice, and Dog chews on foil. Later that night, Dog is asleep and Cat attempts to brush his teeth. He is unable to do so because of all the food in his mouth. So what's the next best option? That's right, traveling inside of their own body to come out as an inside-out cat out of Dog's mouth.
Oh, I'm not even looking. That is disgusting. Nope. 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 Oh my god, that is
Dog
disgusting.
screams of horror and swallows Cat back down to where he's supposed to be. Skipping to the end, they get their teeth fixed, but end up getting food allergies from all the junk they ate throughout the entire episode. Never thought I'd see an inside-out cat trying to
That
brush
is
Dog's
so
teeth.
like what goes through their mind when making the show for kids, bro? Like,
Knuckles and his hilarious
what?
problem. The Misadventures of Flapjack. The Misadventures
I don't know
of
half
Flapjack
these
was
shows.
another show that got away with so much disturbing shit. Personally, as a kid, I loved it just because it was so gross and I thought that was so funny back in the day. I remember pausing it at those funny still frames of like
bro, it's just
zoomed in
gross,
pictures of the
man.
characters' faces. Anyway, season 2, episode 4 is Knuckles and his hilarious problem. This episode is about addiction. More specifically, Knuckles' addiction to candy, which has the effects of alcohol, from feeling warm and happy, angry at the world, to depression. The next morning, after Knuckles ingests a bunch of candy, Flapjack realizes
I watched
that
the
Knuckles
Skin
has become
Theory-
addicted to
the Skin
candy,
Theory
so
one.
much so that he
I don't know what you're talking
hallucinates,
about,
sees
but
Flapjack as a lollipop.
yeah, there's
and
like a
tries
Skin
eating it.
Theory,
Next, Knuckles begins manipulating Flapjack and tells him that he's
video
just
that
fine
I
and
watched
he
on
can
that.
trust him. Though this only leads to 2 candy.
We are ready to get started on this boutique hotel here.
Drinking
in downtown
candy from a
Waco.
bottle is such a stretch, bro. Like that doesn't even make sense.
He rampages where he steals from homes, babies, and a gumball machine. Then we go to this depressing scene showing just how this candy addiction has left Knuckles, getting kicked out of the candy trough, being used as a doormat, and taking any bit of candy he can get, even if it's from a stranger's mouth.
Ew.
Bubby decides to send Knuckles off to isolation on a piece of the boardwalk into the sea. Here, Knuckles begins hallucinating and imagines a giant
Bro,
Flapjack
tripping.
putting his arms inside of his mouth and vomiting candy into it.
Bro, what? Like, who comes up with
Very
these
dark episode
episode
to think about it,
ideas for
especially seeing
kids?
just how bad the
It's a
effects
kid
of
show,
any
bro.
have left Knuckles. I really like the episode though. It really makes you aware of just how bad alcohol or any addiction can be.
That's true, but like for kids, bro.
Earth Mover, Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond released in 1999 and aired on Cartoon Network and WB Kids.
Yeah, I guess
Today
not
we're gonna be
necessarily
talking about
meant
season
for
1, episode
directly
15,
kids, but
aka
like
Earth
younger
Mover. We'll start with this
audiences.
teenage girl by the name of Jackie hanging with her friends, one of which is Terry McGinnis, aka the Batman after the original Bruce Wayne Batman. She explains that she's been feeling like
Never
she
watched the
was
show either, by the
followed
way.
and watched by someone. Soon after that, Terry sees a mysterious figure outside through the window. A chase begins, but the figure isn't caught. The next day, Jackie's adopted father gives all three of them a ride, but first he says he wants to show them something.
It was
That being
him
a piece
the
of
whole
land
time.
He plans on buying and placing a factory on. An earthquake happens, and again, there was another fight scene. After this, Bill, her adopted father, explains that he thinks it might be
Does he have
Jackie's real
black
father working for
lipstick?
him. He tells the story from many years ago, and while he was trying to dump toxic waste into an abandoned mine shaft, the wire pulling up the container got stuck on a piece of wood and resulted in the entire mine shaft collapsing in on itself. Jackie's father was at the bottom and ended up being crushed by the debris. Not only that, but was covered by the toxic waste. Everyone assumed that he
That's
died
tragic.
instantly, and Bill felt so bad that he ended up adopting Jackie, who was only a kid at the time. Fast forward into the episode, and the Earth Mover has trapped both Jackie and Bill underground. During this scene, Jackie finds out what her father actually looks like, and, well... So like the text was saying, I can't show too much due
I don't
to a
think it's just
copyright
that
claim,
bad,
but basically,
honestly.
Jackie
It seems
is
like more of a
horrified seeing that
mature
this is her
kid show.
father. I mean, who wouldn't be? Look at the way they drew it.
That is
yeah,
pretty
that's
messed up,
basically the
though.
scene in a nutshell. I mean, even listen to that voice. It sounds like he's struggling to get his words out. He seems to think that Bill betrayed him and left him to die so that he didn't have to split the revenue with a partner.
Pretty
he also
dark, like,
sees
theme,
Bill
though.
adopting Jackie as her getting
No,
stolen
that's
from her.
gross. Never
Imagine
mind.
accidentally dying, and then the friend that accidentally killed you adopts your daughter. Bro, eventually, Batman swoops in and saves the day. The episode ends with this very dark quote.
My father.
He's not your father. Not really. He's a ghost.
Dad.
That's so deep.
Mooch Master P, Mr. Meaty. Mr. Meaty.
Oh my
aired
God,
from
this show is
2006 to
so
2009
weird.
And was canceled.
This show
due to
is
a mix
so
of low
bad.
ratings and criticism from adults and
I hated
vegetarians
this show.
who protested against the show. Honestly, the show is very lucky it even lasted 3 years.
This show is
considering
so
how ugly all of the characters
messed up,
were.
bro.
The show followed fast food workers Josh and Parker through their odd adventures. Season 1, episode 6 begins with Parker quote-unquote mooching off of everyone and eating their food. Josh gets annoyed and tricks
I
him
hated
into
this
eating a
show.
raw patty. Then weird things start happening, like all of the food Parker is about to take a bite out of disappear. Josh records it with a camcorder and slows down the footage. Then we see that a giant tapeworm is living inside of Parker eating all of his food. They decide to get rid of the tapeworm the only way they know how, fishing it out of Parker's stomach. They do end up getting it out, and an Australian man comes by and says he'll buy it for his zoo, though he doesn't take it to the
Australian man.
zoo. Instead, he swallows it whole in front of them.
We go. Come on in. That's the stuff.
And says she tickles on the way down. Wow. Okay.
It's so weird.
King Ram.
That's not even like the worst thing in that show. I've seen so much
No.
worse.
If you're smelling something, it might
That's
be
pretty
my
weird though, but
spiked eggnog body wash.
that whole show
Ramsey's
was weird.
Curse / Remembrance of Courage Past. Courage the Cowardly Dog. This list
I
would
watched
not
this whole
be complete
show.
without mentioning Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I've seen the
I could
entire
go
thing,
on
so
and
I'll
on about
definitely
all the
remember
creepy monsters that gave
whatever
kids
this is.
nightmares throughout in the entirety of the series.
This show
but I
did
wanna
scare me as a
mention
kid.
The one that stuck with me the most, and that's King Ramsey's Curse.
But
In this
I-
episode, Eustace does not
Oh, I
want
do
to return
remember
a
this one.
historical slab because he hears on the news that it's worth $1 million.
This-
A person
Oh,
from
I
the
swear this
museum it
was the
belongs to
scariest
comes
one.
over to take it back and offers
It was like
Eustace a
some
tote bag.
creepy-ass
I mean, my
music
guy,
played.
Pretty sure you could legally get it back.
It was like some
for
creepy-ass
free.
music,
Then
I
the door
think,
gets slammed on him. When
that
it becomes
played.
nighttime, they hear a creak at the door and check outside. Then we
Maybe.
get King Ramses, who just keeps repeating, "Return the slab or suffer my curse."
Okay, that's what I meant. Not the music, but that scared me. That CGI is
It's
gross,
just such
bro.
a creepy design, and also it's a 3D model in the 2D animated show. There's so many instances of just plain creepy stuff in this cartoon,
Yeah.
but that's what gave it its charm. I feel like Courage the Cowardly Dog definitely let young kids know whether they like the horror
Stupid
genre.
dog, you make me
So,
look bad.
Shout out to Courage the Cowardly Dog for that. I also want to talk
It
about
was meant to be a
another
scary
episode called
show,
Remembrance
so
of Courage
it makes
Past,
sense.
which is actually the second to last episode of the entire series. This episode is about Courage's parents, which sadly got taken away from him at an early age due to an evil veterinarian. This veterinarian puts Courage's parents in a rocket ship, and Courage can't do anything because he's just a pup. While being chased, Courage hops into the garbage disposal and escapes. He watches as his parents are sent off to space and waves goodbye. We see how Courage is adopted by Muriel and why she decides to name him Courage. Meanwhile, in the present day, the same thing is about to happen to Muriel and Eustace, but luckily, Courage is able to save the day and send the veterinarian to space this time. In space, he finds himself with all the other dogs he has experimented on, including Courage's parents.
W episode. That show was meant to be creepy.
Those two episodes
so
never
like,
left my mind. I think about those episodes to this day. Jurassic Park, Futurama. This is a little bonus I'm throwing in. The reason I'm throwing this in as a bonus
this
is
was not a
because
kid's
one,
show.
Futurama wasn't really made for kids. It was a show for young adults. And two, I don't think this episode traumatized anyone. It was just incredibly sad. And if you're a fan of Futurama,
I've
you
never
already
seen this
know
show.
what I'm talking about. This episode, Jurassic Park, was the hardest one to rewatch for me. This episode is about Fry's old dog from 1997
never watched this
named
show, really.
Seymour. In case you guys don't know,
I watched
Futurama
The
takes place
Simpsons
in
a
the year
lot.
3000, with Fry being the only person from the year 2000, since he accidentally fell into a cryogenic chamber on New Year's Day. Anyway,
I've seen
Fry
this on
finds
TikTok.
Seymour as a fossil in a museum, where he then takes home to the professor. The professor explains that he can actually bring back Seymour with new technology, and so Fry begins getting ready for Seymour's return. This includes a doggy bed, a collar, and some chew toys. When the professor is
he
ready
dies
to
or
bring back
something.
Seymour, Bender throws his body into a pit of lava because he's jealous that Fry will have a new best friend. We get a flashback of Seymour doing everything in his power to find Fry. Seymour eventually finds Fry, but no one in the lab notices that Fry is in there. Even his parents, who go to pick up Seymour. Talk about frustration. Anyway, Bender jumps into the lava pit and retrieves Seymour's body. Seymour didn't burn due to the material covering his body. The professor finds out that Seymour actually lived his full lifespan of 15 years, 12 years after Fry's disappearance. So Fry decides not to bring him back, simply because he doubts Seymour even remembers him, and he probably moved on with another family. But wait, here's the kicker. We, the audience, get a
where did the audio go?
Seymour even remembers him, and he probably moved on with another family. But wait, here's the kicker. We, the audience, get a
It's the most replayed part. Look, it's most replayed. So I assume the audio went out on the video. Maybe got like copyright or something. But yeah. So I don't know. I can't hear anything.
episode was actually nominated for an Emmy in 2003, which,
Dang.
you know, that's just how good the episode was. Sadly, it did not win the Emmy. The Simpsons beat it out, which is also made by Matt Groening. So, Matt Groening, good on you. Yeah, this episode tore my heart out when I watched it.
Is that the end?
I hope you guys enjoed that video. If you did,
Alright, guys. So, if you guys enjoyed that video, like, subscribe. Obviously, go subscribe and like this video by Tov. It's a really good video. He makes really good content. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe. I might make more of these videos where I react to like video essays and like unsolved mysteries and things like that because I found those really interesting. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day and see you guys in the next one.